there's one point that I would like to make that I think is kind of the moral of the story for me, and that is some of the things that I've learned just from scientific study that have led me to my my belief system in the way the whole thing works, in the way the whole universe works, is based on just a couple things I know for sure. I know that all energy is particulate and waveform simultaneously. And I know that numbers can be manipulated in a random number generator by thought. So we're, in essence, manipulating energy with our thought. And the entire universe is made of energy. Is anyone else making a correlation there? The entire universe is made of particulate and waveform energy, and we can manipulate energy. Now, I'm not saying that I think that we live in a holographic universe of just lights and sound. It's all reality is virtual, but that's for another day. What I'm getting at is that I think it's a very malleable system. Tuning your energies to higher forms allows you to manipulate and change the outcome of it, not only how you look at things, but how things in essence turn out for you. So the power of positive thought can manipulate and change the essence of your universe. So, as I've said before, life is exactly what you make it. It's not a version of what you make it. It's not partially what you make it. You make it and then luck takes over. No, you manipulate your universe by the way that you look at it. If I think that my life is going to suck, then every energy that I put forth is going to help further that cause, that agenda, which is sort of the topic for today, agendas, because we've all got one. But I digress. I'll go back to that in a minute. On the other hand, if you look at your life and say, I'm blessed with abundance and I have love and everything that hasn't worked out will work out, and putting the things out there that you want. I want to be successful in my life. I want to be comfortable. I want to feel safe. Putting the things that you desire out into the universe, not the things that you don't want to happen, because it just doesn't work that way. You're projecting negative energy. Saying the things that you don't wish to happen, the things that you don't want to happen in your life. Chances are you're drawing those things to you like a magnet. Now, I'm not saying it's all sunshine and puppy dogs and rainbows. Of course, we have things that we have to overcome, but it's having a positive outlook on those things as well. What am I learning from what's happening to me right now? What am I going to take away from this bad experience? Am I going to grow from this bad experience? You grow from every experience. Your brain is remapping neural pathways as you listen to this radio show. Your idea of right and wrong is tested on a moment-by-moment basis. Now, the idea of an agenda is, in my opinion, my take on it anyway, is the pushing forth of what you think should be, of your idea of the optimum reality for everyone. Pushing that idea forward is in essence what I think the center of agendas are. Whether your agenda is to be a successful business person or to start a co-op farm within your community, providing food in exchange for labor. Or perhaps you want to start a clothing bank, or you want to feed the homeless, or you want to war with other countries, or if you want to lie to your people, you want to steal from your government to further money and power in your life. Every agenda has an end. Every agenda has a means. Every agenda has the structure to be a life of its own, especially when that agenda is manipulation, is telling stories in order to, well, in the case that I'm referring to, in order to rob civil liberties. Whenever we want something to happen, bad choice of words, whenever they want something to happen and they know that we'll resist it, they just do something devastating that costs thousands of people their lives every time. And every time we're more and more scared, and we're more and more willing to take on this thing that we weren't willing to take on it with a clear mind. We can't let that shroud of fear confuse us to what's really happening. Instead, we have to look at the bigger picture. We have to look at what it is that they really hope to gain from the things that they're doing. Because you go to another country and they look at us the same way we look at them. Their truth is equal. They have a culture and a life and a thought process and an expression of what they believe reality should be themselves. It's not all us, and we're not always right. The gentleman I worked with last night made a very good point. There are no military bases from other countries in our country. What does that tell you about agendas? I mean, it's pretty obvious what ours is. If Iran had military bases surrounding our country in Canada and Mexico, in Cuba, we wouldn't be so calmly waiting for things to happen. We would be bombing the shit out of them. That is just how this country operates. Will we gain anything from any of that? No, we won't. As a people, no, but the corporatocracy as it is will gain very much. They'll gain whatever resources they seem to covet from whatever country it is they decide to occupy and take over. And we've been doing it for 100 years. We've been doing it for longer. We've been doing it since people came over from England. That was a similar situation. We see how that went for the natives here. It's exactly the same point, but we're all about peace and freedom, allegedly. But I don't see any of that. I see us furthering our agenda by pushing our beliefs on other countries. And I say our as America, as the American agenda. My agenda is something different. Sometimes maybe even looked at as a little bit unrealistic, that we can just put it down and walk away. We did it when we were kids. We're supposedly more mature and understanding now. Why can't we just say, enough's enough. This isn't right. I'm not going to kill anyone else to further this agenda, because it's not doing me or my family any good. It's not doing anything for the people that I love. It's doing a great deal for people who are making money off of war. It's not doing anything for the people who are having to fight the war. How many Rockefellers do you see on the front lines? How many DuPonts? How many Bundys? You don't see many from the elite bloodlines. You don't see any from the elite bloodline risking their lives to further their agenda. They have pawns for that. They think that they're greater than us. They think that they're not required to make the sacrifices in order to further their agenda, because they have people who are, sorry to say, that are dumb enough to take that on. I'm not saying that the military is. This actually isn't an attack to the military, because I feel for every person that's over there. I hope that they come home safely. I hope that they get to live through this and see their families again. My point is, at what cost? The leaders are the issue. It's not the people. I'm not anti-American. I'm anti-American government. I'm anti-corporate structure. I'm anti-Federal Reserve. I'm pro-people. I'm pro-American. Americans have the right within the Constitution to say, this isn't how I wanted it to be. I want a world where my children will not have to be afraid to walk to school. To have bomb scares, to have shootings. Maybe it's unrealistic, but you have to put it out there. I believe that the universe is malleable. I believe that positive influence can affect great many things. So I have to put it out there. I have to say, maybe it's possible. Maybe we can transcend this negativity and enter into an evolved state. That's what I want to believe. Whether or not the rest of the world is projecting that, a lot of the people that I've spoken to recently feel exactly the opposite. They feel that the shit's going to hit the fan, and there is going to be mayhem and anarchy all over the place as this government dissents and a new one comes into place. But if you're fighting to overthrow a government, then you're becoming that very thing that you're trying to destroy. I don't have the answer to what the right way to do this is. I think it's from the inside. I think that leaders like Ron Paul can help us transcend this negative paradigm that we've come into and become a more enlightened and mature race. Because in a lot of ways we are children, all of us. We're a young species who is, like most teenagers, out to prove that it's the biggest and the baddest. What do we gain from that as adults? Some scars and some pretty cool stories, but all in all, you become something else as you reach that precipice, as you come into your own. Realize that a live and let live's not so bad.